Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Wait for you guys to come in. We're going to do your reading for August. Take a look at what you can expect for love. Hey, Charity. Hello, Yolanda. Hello, everyone. Love Unscripted. Hello. Hey, Emery. Fernando. Hello. Finsta. Elizabeth. Yep, we're gonna look at love for August. What to expect? What's going on? Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Hi, T. Sit down. Get your coffee. Get your popcorn. Whatever it is you like to have. Don't mind my big old legs sticking out here. Welcome, welcome. So obviously you can see you have the Ace of Cups. To start off, we're going to take a look at August, all right? There's definitely something new coming in, a healing energy as well in your love life. Ace of Cups, my cup runneth over kind of energy. Someone's being given, there's a gift of renewal. This has to do with a relationship, okay? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Awesome, Jose. Awesome. Yes, this has to do with some kind of a relationship. There's a healing. The healing waters. And I feel like this is not something that you... I keep seeing the Hanged Man in my mind's eye. Okay, so if that shows up, I'm feeling an energy of a new perspective. Somebody's being given another emotional shot here, another emotional chance. All right, let me just get a couple more cards and see what's going on. Could be you or another earth sign. Love them, healing, salt waters. Yes. Okay, somebody's being given another opportunity or a chance at healing. All right. Yes, as you can see, I'm going live a little earlier than my normal time. So let me see here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Major surrender. Oh my gosh. This is such a profound message. Somebody is surrendering. Somebody's exhausted, stressed, cannot carry this burden anymore, is seeking a refreshing new beginning. Okay? A refreshing new beginning, and it's coming in. Definitely. There's a light at the end of a tunnel here. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Somebody is just completely hitting rock bottom. Okay. Let me see if I can fix my... So I get that big old leg out of the way. Okay, that'll work. Yes, rock bottom. Love and compassion. Making a choice. This kind of feels to me like somebody's being given a gift of healing and they're making a decision to start their life over, to have a new beginning. Is this you? Is it you, or is it another person that you're dealing with, or two people? I'm feeling a detachment coming up here. I'm feeling two people in August who are truly in love with each other. And it's giving these vibes of like, oh, I got to stop doing what I've been doing or we're not going to be together. Okay. I will try to be here Friday to do personal readings, live card pulls. So if you check back on Friday, So yeah, there's definitely a healing. And there's also a sense of freedom. The lovers, yeah, it can be about partnership, but it can also be about separating to have a self-love, to learn to love the self is what I'm getting. There might be two people who are currently involved or they're held together by for some reason, whether it's a legal contract or a duty or an obligation. Somehow there's some kind of attachment, but it's like being attached but not really attached to each other. Okay, I know a lot of people do, Dottie. I like the earlier time either. I mean, also. What? Okay, so there's a freedom. Oh my gosh, there's a new beginning happening here. For sure. Love, you know what I feel like? It's just, I feel like August is pretty much saying that, we're just giving up. We're just letting go. We're surrendering. It is what it is. It's acceptance. It's seeing something for what it is, not for what it's hoped to be, or there's no delusion here. It's acceptance, right? And it's acceptance, right? Everybody's like, well, you got to forgive. Well, you can't forgive until you accept a situation first. And I feel like we need to put more emphasis on the acceptance part first. And then you can decide later if you're willing to forgive. Acceptance, when people say, I don't know how to let go, it's because you have to accept a situation for what it is. You can't let go of something if you're not accepting what it is. The acceptance is, in essence, the letting go. And it's getting rid of all of the delusion. Okay? It's like Lori Vallow Daybell. She's never going to be able to get out of her delusion. Me and my crime, until she accepts what she's done. Until she accepts the truth of the matter or what has occurred. That right there will free you. Okay? That will free you and give you an opportunity. And you can still love and let go at the same time. And that will free you up for a new beginning in your life. Nobody's saying that you have to end something. You just have to accept something. And the rest will take care of itself. That's the healing that's coming in here. It's all about the acceptance. Even if that acceptance is a hard pill to swallow, it's the most freeing pill. Even if it's a bitter pill, a jagged little bitter pill, it's still freeing. Maybe there's a ghosting situation. Okay? I feel like you've been fighting something. Maybe you and another person, or just you on your own. You've been fighting something, trying to direct somebody's actions or behaviors, or trying to control or direct an outcome. Okay? Trying to get someone to stop treating you a particular way or being a particular way. Okay? Or doing the things that they do. But that in its essence is you just trying to maybe not have to deal with the fact that you have to accept something, right? It's hard to accept something when we know that it's not what we want. It's hard to accept something. Okay? And a lot of times we want to try to make something out to be more than it is, or we want to gaslight ourselves and say, well, it's not that bad. No. I feel like it's time to let go. so that love can come into your life, which I see it happening. That's right, Dottie. There's an old prayer, the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. What do I have power over and what do I not have power? You only have power over yourself. You can't direct somebody else's movie. They're playing the lead role. You're not the director of their life. You're the lead. Your cast is the lead role in your own life. And when people get better, things get better. Everything gets better around them, right? So there's definitely an energy of love and acceptance. That's what I'm getting right now with this reading, okay? So maybe you're dealing with someone who is non-committal there could be various reasons, right? You could be dealing with someone that's very avoidant. There could be various reasons. It could be nurture versus nature. But it really doesn't matter, does it? Because if you're not getting your needs met, you got to kind of just step back from that and say, okay, this person's not able to do that for whatever reason right now, today. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let it go. Because I feel like the more you expect someone to meet you where you are that is not capable of meeting you where you are, the more disappointment you're going to have. So keep your expectations only on yourself at this point, right? Okay, I feel like you're going through some kind of shift and a change in August. And I love this. This is a little bit of a dark night energy. Because I feel like it's going to free you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like it's going to free you in ways that you can't even imagine. It's not really about you finding someone to free you. It's about you being able to free yourself so someone can find you. And you've been going through some kind of heartbreak situation. Seriously. Maybe there's been arguments. Lots of conflict. Dealing with a heartbreaker. Maybe it's a divorce that you haven't fully accepted yet, or some kind of a loss. And it may have trickled into some kind of depression. It's been affecting your mental health as well. Yeah, there you go. Letting go of that anxiety. You're dealing with someone that's causing an extreme amount of anxiety and stress. And if you ask yourself, how do you feel when they're not in your life? And you're like, oh, I feel 1,000 times better. Well, you gotta take a look at that, instead of maybe trying to get somebody to change their ways. You can't really, like, if people don't want to change their ways, if you manage to get them to change their ways, it's only a temporary thing. Sometimes you just got to leave people be and let them figure stuff out on their own, but you got to let them know, and this is where this love is coming in August, right? And especially getting into Virgo season, right? So starting with all of you August Virgos, the energy starts happening here. Take the breadcrumbs and make over fried chicken. Yeah, there's no need to hate. Hate's a cancer to your soul. If you're angry at someone and they don't know about it, it's not going to affect them. It's just going to sit, it's going to fester within you. It's not to say you can't be angry, but sometimes if you don't deal with your feelings, anger can turn into self-hatred. Okay, yeah. Oh, oven fried chicken. I was like, get over that chicken. Yeah, well, I'd say that those 8 planets are going to bring everything into alignment. And some of you, even with alignment, you know what you need to do. But your head and your heart, like, you cognitively know, but your heart is still catching up. and that's all right. Somebody you could be dealing with, or maybe you've been part of a fantasy illusion, and it probably has been hurting you or causing conflict. Yeah, acceptance and letting go, right? That's what I feel the energy is. So you can be in a position of higher ground. That's how you get to higher ground. You know how difficult it is to climb a mountain with all the baggage on you? You got to start accepting and cutting out all the baggage. And then that makes your trek much easier in life to reach that higher ground. You know, that's the Six of Wands. This is good news. This is success. This is victory. Absolutely. And this is when the love starts coming in to you. Okay? This is when the love starts coming in. The real love that you deserve. When you let go of things that you cannot control, or things that you think you can control. I mean, honestly, do you really have that much energy to be exhausting yourself, trying to steer a situation or a person? I mean, I'm sure you're one of those people who's very good at management. But at some point, people got to manage themselves. You know? But it's exhausting, right? Isn't it just hard enough trying to manage your own feelings and your own behaviors and your own choices and consequences in your life? Isn't that exhausting enough? Yeah, tired of being tired. And you've been carrying a burden, and it hasn't been yours. You've been carrying somebody else's burden. And it wasn't ever yours to carry from the start. But you accepted it. And you accepted it because you have a good heart. But you're burning the candle at both ends, I'm sure. It's okay to love someone in exactly the place they are and not have to control the outcome of the relationship you have with them. That's true love. That's love is freedom. Yeah, true love is freedom. And it's time for you to move and go and do, yes, protect your peace. And it's time for you to get going. It's time for you to get moving in the direction of where you're going to be happy, or where you're going to be able to be excited about your life and not have to be worrying or struggling or stressing over a person, place, or thing who might be very immature or has just not come to the level that they need to be. Okay? They might be weak, or they're having an adjustment problem, or maybe they're codependent, or there's addictions involved, whatever the situation is. You don't have to carry that. You're not Jesus. You don't need to carry this cross. You weren't put on this planet to suffer. If we're going to get into scripture, Jesus already died for your sins and your suffering. Okay? For those of you who are, in that place in life. I believe that. You can interpret it however you want, but I totally believe that. So why are you carrying... It's just like that... Oh, they're giving me that Alanis Morissette song. The cross that you have to bear. Who says you have to bear this cross? Who told you in your life that this is your cross to bear? Somebody else's BS or somebody else's stuff. Another adult? No. Even if they saved your life, you're not obligated. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is you. I feel like maybe some of you have been isolated, or you've been isolating yourself because of a situation that you were dealing with. And I'm seeing you coming to a place of accepting it is what it is. And the Page of Wands coming up, and it's like excitement for the little things again. It's a little bit of like getting the glimmers. Have you ever heard of the glimmers? If you have, leave it in the chat or leave a comment. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you what it is. So the glimmers are teeny tiny rays of hope. Teeny tiny, tiny rays as a little spark of hope. Okay, and that little spark of hope, it's like a teeny little light in a pitch black room. But it is so potent and it can enlighten so much. Yeah, and some of you have been in some very dark place, maybe for some time. But I'm telling you, you can let go now. You can let go fully. And it's not, I feel like somebody that maybe you've been dealing with, or certain, maybe a family member or a romantic partner. Maybe there was a feeling that you didn't feel like you were loved. But I want to tell you that you still are. But there's a difference. I feel like somebody's got some kind of struggle and that they can only go so far with that love. But that absolutely does not mean that you are not lovable. You are still lovable. It's like I used to say years ago, right? If you go to my other channel and go back years ago and listen to some of my readings, I always used to say, you've got a diamond in a jewelry store. If people drive past that jewelry store and never go in and purchase the diamond in there, does that mean that the diamond is less valuable because nobody is taking it home? I mean, if you think about it, no, it doesn't. If anything, the diamond becomes more valuable, and the right person that's for that diamond will go in and get it. You are not less valuable or less worthy based on somebody else's inability to love you. Some people are just not able to love others because they don't feel lovable enough or worthy enough. You know, but I digress. This reading is not about so much of another person. It feels like it's more about you getting into the light, getting yourself in a position where you're getting back out in the sun. You've been like a vampire, maybe in the dark, getting back out. Like the sun's not going to kill you. You're not a vampire, okay? You maybe just kind of been acting like one, but you're really not one. I know. I remember everybody was like, "Oh, Ozzy Osbourne's evil. He's like a demon. He's like a vampire." No, he's not. Because if he were, he would have died when he went out in the sunlight. Anyway, I'm being weird, right? You will have everything that you want. It will come to you. But I feel like you need to let go of whatever you have been dealing with. Okay? I do. I feel like it's time to let go of not necessarily the person, but the expectation. Let go of the projection. Let go of trying to control something. That's when things begin to come to you after you surrender. And I do feel like there's somebody else here, as I said in the very beginning, who will be surrendering as well. But I feel like you're going to be the catalyst for that change. I really do. It's crazy, but that's how it goes. So look, happily ever after. I mean, it's in the cards for you. No matter what you think or what you tell yourself or what you say. And it doesn't mean whoever you're dealing with here isn't the one for you. They might just not be the one right now. And that's okay. If you're dealing with someone, if you have a partner or a spouse, and perhaps just right now you don't even want them to be the one because you're too busy making yourself the one. It's time to get selfish. Seriously, it is time to get selfish and start controlling yourself. You are the star of your own show, and you start acting like it. And if you're dealing with anxiety, you need to dismiss your anxiety immediately. Immediately. Thank you, Bridget. Oh, I can read playing cards as well. Would you guys like me to read playing cards one day? In a reading? And just get out a deck of playing cards? Yeah, the way you overcome anxiety is you just dismiss it so that you don't spiral. You know, you can travel back into your past and try to figure out where it's stemming from, but to keep you from spiraling, you just have to dismiss it. But anyway, back to love. I see you in your life being in a very happy, healthy, loving relationship in the future. I really do. I love Pepsi. I really do. I have that burned in my brain from Brittany from years ago. Pepsi? Who doesn't like Pepsi? I love Pepsi. I really do. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? You will be where you need to be going forward. You're not going to live the rest of your life alone. Maybe it'll even be with this person because they're on a healing journey, but you got to let them go. Seriously. Because if you're trying to turn them into something they're not, they're not at the moment, or some of you I know have already let go and you're doing great, and I just want to give you a massive shout out and a big pat on the back and a big like, you're amazing because you're doing it, and this is awesome, and you know what you need to do, and you know who you are, and you're on this journey, and it's fantastic, and you deserve all the good that comes to you because you're on that path, you're doing it. And some of you've been on it for a while, and you're just patient and you're just waiting for your turn, right? It's going to come. Okay. Some of you it already has. Some of you are already connecting with someone, and it's like, wow, if I hadn't given up that thing from the past, I never would be where I am now, which is 1,000 times better. Yeah. But for those of you that are still on this needing to let go, needing to love someone at a distance, needing to accept things for exactly the way they are, not gaslight yourself, not try to turn someone into something that they're not with your little magic wand, which you don't have, which you do not have. I say all the time, you can lead someone to water, but you can't make them drink it. I mean, I guess you could if you held a gun under their head, but I mean, if that's you, you need to be in prison. You don't need to be on my tarot reading channel. But anyway, I feel like you're going to have what you want, but you got to be the catalyst for this change within yourself, right? And like I said, some of you, there's something you're dealing with another person that you can't fix it for them. You just can't, and you can't fix them. But you need to also not enable their behavior as well. Right? You need also to stop enabling their behavior. And a lot of times people will enable someone else's behavior, especially if it's not healthy, because they have a fear of losing that person forever. Understandable. If this is someone that you love, you let them go. That's a fear of the unknown. So you just want to keep playing along, let them dictate things. But it's probably killing you inside. because you're losing yourself. That's like self-imprisonment, really. It's like a self-erasure. You're erasing yourself by enabling someone else's whatever they're doing or not doing, you know? And you can't, I mean, you can live that way if you want to, but I don't think you're going to like it very much. All right. Yeah. So listen, your 10 of Cups is on its way to you. Okay. If you're that person who has not fully let go or you're still in this process, it's going to come. Don't have despair. I know it's easy to sometimes have despair. It's okay. You can feel it, but get out of it right away. Okay? And have faith. There's the unknown, right? The fear of the unknown. It's alive and well for those of you who are in this reading right now. It's alive and well. The secrets, what's hidden in the dark. I don't know what's coming to me. I don't know what to expect. I'm afraid to let go. I'm hiding behind the lies. I'm trying to trust my intuition. I'm trying to make these voluntary changes in my own personal life. But I need the truth. I need the clarity. Some of you are getting messages in your dreams, which has been bringing clarity to you, if you're remembering them. Yeah, but you don't have to fear the unknown. And the reason why I say that is because whatever's in the dark always comes to light. Even the moon at night, except for the new moon, but even the moon at night shines light in the darkness. You may not have the full picture, but you do have glimpses of reflections. So you're never really fully in the dark. It's like that dark room I was saying where there's that little spark. That potent, tiny little spark in a dark room really can light up the whole room, you know? But you have to really, when you're walking through what feels like a dark time, you're almost blinded and you have to let your intuition help feel your way through it when you're in the dark, right? You know, like someone who's blind, they feel their way through the room. Feel your way through this room that you're in right now, but with your intuition. You're going to have maybe moments of sadness as you go through that. Whatever this sense of maybe a feeling of abandonment or feeling unloved. But this is part of the process, right? Trust the process. It will level out. Peace will come. And that happily ever after scenario is, it's a given. What goes up must come down. It's just the way the universe works. Unless somebody's got a foot on your neck and is holding you down, you're going to get out of that. You will. But it's just the way the universe works. You are not going to be in this place for a lifetime. Yep, just start with seeing something for exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. Don't question or doubt. This is not about whether or not someone loves you or not. Of course they do. How can you not be loved? You're lovable. You're amazing. That's not even an issue. It's your inability to excuse me, I forgot to bring my drink while I'm talking. Maybe your inability to see something for exactly what it is. Maybe for some of you, you don't know fully exactly like what it is. You see something flying up in the dark of the night and it's lit up, but it doesn't look like a plane. It doesn't look like a drone. It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen. You know, it's not any of those things. It's completely unidentified, which just tells you that it's existing. You don't know what it is, but it's existing, and it's okay. You don't need to know exactly what it is, but you do need to accept the fact that you don't know exactly what's going on, and accept that I don't know what this is, and therefore I have no, all I can do is control myself. All I can do is hold power over my decisions, my thoughts, my words, my actions. That's the only power I have. Okay? But you have to come to a place of acceptance. Maybe you know exactly what something is, and maybe it helps you to have a label. If you want to label it and you can't identify it, just saying, I can't identify this. And that scares the F out of me, that I don't know what this is, that I can't identify this. That's even worse, you know? You know, we always feel better when we're able to put a label on something. Okay, well, this is this and this is that. But when we don't know what something is, let's say people see like a UFO or maybe an alien, like, I don't know what that is. And that scares me even more. It's not familiar to me. And you're dealing with something that's not familiar to you. And maybe you're trying to figure out what it is. You're spending all your time trying to figure out what something is. And you're not getting any answers. You got to let go. You just got to let go and find your peace of mind. Okay? Yeah, fear of the unknown. Okay? And it will come to you, right? And it'll come fast. Just walk away, let go. And if this is a relationship with someone that you love dearly, you're not ready to maybe deal with this person or this situation, you're just trying to recollect and trying to get some peace in your life, you may wind up with this person and further down the road. For some of you, you very well could. If that's something that you want, you'll manifest that, of course. But I do feel like the biggest thing for you right now is allow that healing to happen. Allow that healing process to exist and start having it happen in your life and start surrendering. Nobody's telling you to forgive someone, but they are telling you to accept it. Accept what this is. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree. You don't have to agree with it. You just have to accept it. Okay? You see an alien coming at your door. You don't have to agree that that alien is okay to be at your door. But you do need to accept that that's what the frick it is. Okay. And after that, everything starts getting better here, especially in this month of August. Especially. Yeah, manifest getting your shicks together. Sure. Absolutely. Get it together, will you? I need to start doing my readings like right by the kitchen sink. So always have water. Mastery. This is a huge spiritual lesson. Some of you have already mastered this. Some of you already know what's up. Some of you have clear thinking. And some of you really do. You're very honest with yourselves. You're just like, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it is a duck. And that's enough for you. Some of you have mastered that already. And if you haven't, some of you are doubting yourself. That's all. I don't know why. There might be a reason. But it's time to stop doing that. Time to stop doing that. Because when you're doubting yourself, you're constantly going to be looking for answers. It's like a never-ending pit of confusion. Just get yourself a sticky label and write it out on the sticky label and then plaster it where you can see it every day. And make sure you have something named here. Even if you don't know what it is, that's the name of the label. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Whether you do or you don't. But this is what it is. A duck, a duck, a duck. And I'm going to accept that that's what that is. And if that's going to be a better duck in the future, it's not up to me. Okay? It's not my job. It's not my role. I was not, and this is you, got to tell yourself, I was not put on this planet or in this, I was not, who gave me this role that I have to fix everybody and ignore myself? Who gave me this role? Why did I accept that role? Where have I become dependent on everyone else's validation or approval? Where did that come from? Nurture versus nature. Doesn't matter. You can change behaviors. And you shouldn't have to change who you are because you're a wonderful person. And whoever you're dealing with is as well. But don't turn something into what it's not. That's how you get hurt. Right? So this is the energy right now. For you especially, support, lean on your inner circle during this time. So your inner circle could be your friends. It could be therapists. It could be self-help books. It could be groups that you're in. People who are, I want to say this, if you're trying to learn to master a new way in your life, you want to learn from the masters. You don't want to learn from people who are trying to learn how to do it. You need to surround yourself with people who are successful. Don't hang around people who have not mastered the lessons, because then there's just 2 confused people or 3 confused. There's nothing. No, you need direction. You need guidance. Find the people who are the masters, okay? And follow their lead, because they'll show you how to get to where you need to be in your life. Not even motivated, goal-oriented. You don't even need to do that. If you do that, then you're going to have all this competition. Just focus on the master, the teacher. When you're in a classroom with a bunch of people who are trying to learn from the teacher, surrounding yourself with those people, those other students, is not going to help you graduate as much as following the lead of the teacher will. That's the only person that matters. So whatever you're trying to learn, even if it's just learning about surrender, if you're just surrounding yourself with support groups of people who are on the same path as you, but they haven't learned the full lesson yet, it's just going to turn into a complaining bitch session. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to waste your time and energy. Be completely direct. The master is the one who guides us spiritually. For some of you, take your lessons. You want to bury your nose in the Bible. Talk to God, spirit. But it has to be lessons that these people, places, and things have already accomplished and already mastered. And I said that yesterday. Because otherwise, it's the blind leading the blind. If you're just going to surround yourself with people that don't know how to get where you need to go. When it comes to navigating relationships, navigating your career, find mentors. And if you have mastered something, be a mentor for others. If you're asked, if you want to, but don't waste your time with people who are not going in the same direction, or who don't waste your time with. You can have people around you who are on the same path as you, but you don't want to focus on learning things from them. Surround yourself with people who have already crossed that bridge. That's all I'm saying. That's my advice here. When you don't go to your friends asking them how to manage a difficult relationship if all of their relationships have ended in heartbreak? Because all they can tell you is what not to do. That's not your goal. If you want to know how to create an everlasting relationship, find the people who have done it. All right? Let me tell you, there is an energy right now of you and another person being on completely different pages because one of you is giving too much to the relationship. One of you is doing it all. And it's probably you. This person, not on this, obviously doesn't share that. What's your vision? I don't know. Maybe you have a different vision and they're doing too much, but it's off balance. And there needs to be balance. There needs to be two people who are giving together in the same, for the same goal, the same vision. Okay? And I feel like if you're the one giving too much, this could be at work. Maybe you're picking up everybody else's work. You're picking up all the slack and you're not getting credit. You're not being appreciated. You're not getting a bonus. You're doing the most. You're doing all the things. And you got to stop that. And if you're holding up the four pillars of a relationship and you're the person's just swinging on the hammock between them, you're doing the most. You're doing too much. Sometimes you just need to let the house fall. Sometimes you need to let the pillars crack and break. For somebody else to just because then you know, right? Stop doing everything. You're like you're like Atlas, holding up the whole world. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of that? Aren't you exhausted? The roof is on fire. Let that MFer burn. Some of you out there like trying to put the water out on the roof, got your fireman gear, your boots, your hose, and you never never walked a day in a fireman's boots. You have no idea what you're doing, but you're gonna like save the day. Stop it. You gotta let other people start stepping up, right? Maybe you're dealing with an addiction, someone that has an addiction. And not maybe. I mean, I kind of saw that in the beginning, or I was just feeling that. Maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe you do. But you got to let somebody hit rock bottom and surrender. And you have to surrender too. It's not just them. There's an old movie called When a Man Loves a Woman. Meg Ryan and Andy Garcia. And they were a married couple. And she was an alcoholic. And her addiction got worse and worse and worse. And he kept trying to cover up. He became an enabler. He was controlling everything. He was trying to protect the family. He was trying to be the hero, Obviously, he loved her. But that relationship shifted way off balance. And then he was doing everything. And then she surrendered and she finally got sober and got herself together. And then she started doing stuff on her own and she started setting boundaries because she started healing. And then he was lost. He was like, he didn't know what to do with himself. Now the role has changed. He didn't know what to do with himself because now he wasn't the superhero anymore. Now he wasn't the caretaker. And now he's like, oh, look at her, right? I did everything for her. Now he's growing resentful. I did everything for her. And now she's taking it all on herself, And eventually it ended up, I think, really good because they actually healed, both of them. And then is it okay to give a spoiler alert? Because I think that movie's from like the 90s. So if you haven't seen it, well, that's your freaking problem. And then I think eventually towards the end, they came back together healed. So yeah, there's definitely some kind of an addiction issue going on, right? But there's definitely a soulmate connection. Either this is a soulmate connection. If you've been enabling somebody's behavior, you need to stop that right now because they're going to hate you for it. And you need to set MFer straight and not set them straight and tell them what they need to do. You need to tell them what you're not willing to do. anymore. That's all. You don't need to control anybody else. Setting boundaries is not telling people what they need to do so you can be comfortable. Setting boundaries is telling yourself what you won't do so you can be comfortable. Setting boundaries is for yourself. Either way, at the end of the day, you win out because no matter what, you're going to have that soulmate connection in your life. You're not going to be living your life alone for the rest of your life. It's just utterly impossible. Like it is literally impossible. As my brother always says, there is a seat for every ass out there. But you got to let go. You need to surrender. And I feel like once you start doing that, everything starts falling into place. That's why your blessings haven't come in just yet. Those of you where it hasn't. Some of you is already like, nah, my blessings are in. Put a 1 or a star if your blessings are coming in. Okay? In the chat. Are your blessings coming in? Have you let go? Are you doing the thing? Are you taking care of you? Taking care of yourself? You're making waves in your life? Putting yourself first? All right, let's look at some numbers here. Somebody's born in 2000, 1960, or age 60. We have the letter E, the letter Z, the letter T, and the letter H. Oh, they're just giving me the word zenith. Is that even a thing anymore, zenith? You have Scorpio here. 111. Y'all, this is your message. And you see a sequence of ones? That's a message from Spirit and their angels trying to tell you, if you're resonating with this reading, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. This is part of your learning journey, your healing journey, and it never stops, okay? And a good, successful journey always has 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. Anyone who stays on the straight and narrow has a linear journey all the way to the end is probably just a very lucky person, but it's very rare. Most people, the path to success always comes with setbacks. And if you're having setbacks on your journey, that's good because that Spirit's saying, whoa, wait a minute, we need to go back and relearn this lesson again. Some people are just incredibly clever and they don't make mistakes. And the reason why is because not only do they learn from their own lessons, they learn from other people's lessons. So like, I don't need to go through all that to learn a lesson. I see what you're going through. That's enough for me. So if you're super, super high IQ, super, super intelligent, which most Virgos are, you can take the lesson from somebody else's experience. I mean, it's just easier. Some of y'all like, I see you went through that, but I need to experience that horrible feeling myself in order to believe it. I mean, hey, to each their own. Yeah, exactly, Jack. There's always going to be speed bumps. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit and can still get back up. That's where the strength is. Because anybody can hit hard, but when you get hit hard, it's all about how you get back up. That's where your strength is. Okay, so maybe you're seeing 1111 or 111, or you're just seeing the number 11. Maybe it's a life path number for someone. All right, you've got Taurus here. BP. You have the letter X. These are initials. And you have a W. You also have the 4th, the 20th, the 11th, the 24th, and the 21st. Look, there's 11. Look at all this, okay? Yeah, so I'm loving these live I really love the live streams. You guys, really, I think I might just start changing my schedule because, to be fair, I'm telling you, like, seriously, by the time 10:30 rolls around on my time, because that's for me when the readings go live, Like, I'm beat. I'm beat. I don't know. I feel like the earlier the better, right? Do you guys agree? Do you like the earlier readings and earlier lives? Do you guys agree? What do you think? You're welcome, Boris. I see a lot of hearts coming in. I think a lot of people like the earlier. Yeah, and if you want to listen to it later on at night, it's up and you can already, you know what I mean? You can listen to it. Oh, okay, Boris. It's like it's 3:18 a.m. Well, thank you for being up at 3:18 a.m. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see what your charms are, you guys. Thank you, T. I appreciate you. Maybe somebody's an alcoholic. There might be an addiction with alcohol. Okay. Or some of you are just like, let me just get a glass of wine because I'm struggling right now and I need to cope. That's fine, as long as it's not a habit. Okay. But I do see a little drinky drink here. Okay. You might just be sipping on some wine right now. That might be your thing. I'm also picking up the 19th and the 16th. Also the 26th. Okay. There you go. Look at this. You guys, come on. You have a butterfly. Transformation and change. Beautiful. And that just tells you that transformation is real and it does happen. Change does happen. If there was no such thing, God would not have given us butterflies. Change is real. Change is it can happen for you. But I feel like the biggest message this is about you focusing on you and changing yourself for the better. Even if that just you want to say making improvements, fine. But this is about you changing. And when you begin to heal and you start feeling better and getting better or improving your ways or your life or the way you interact, believe it or not, the people closest to you will see that and they will start responding to your changes in a positive way by their own changes, right? When you start loving yourself, respecting yourself, people will start loving and respecting you. The only ones who don't are the deeply disturbed people. And sometimes the best way, almost always, the best way to weed those people out is to love yourself. If you're not loving yourself, you're going to get very confused. But when you start respecting yourself and you have boundaries and you're loving yourself, you can very easily weed out the people who are not good for you just by loving yourself. That's all you have to do. You don't need to hire a private detective, because it'll just show. They won't like it. And you'll be like, oh, okay, you're that person. Okay, you're not happy for me. Oh, okay, you're insecure and you don't want me to grow and be better. Oh, okay, I see who you are now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Adios. Yep. Pour that love into yourself, right? And you also have a very important building. Can anyone identify what this feels like? Russia to me. Well, I don't know why. It's just what I'm feeling. It feels like a building in Russia. It could also represent like the capital in the US or just a very important building, maybe somewhere where you live. Well, Boris, there's no guarantees in life no matter what, but you can't not live your life the best way you know how because you don't have guarantees. You do it for you, never for anybody else. Oh, in Iran. Iran. It's a mosque in Iran? Oh, okay. I didn't know mosques look like that. Okay. Very important building, that's for sure. All right. Okay, could be a Muslim building as well. Um, and let me see, is there anything else here? I'll give you one more charm, and then we're going to call it a night. The Taj Mahal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jackie. I was feeling the vibes of that reading for sure. I think it's good for all of us. And you have a palm tree. We love palm trees. Okay? So wherever there's palm trees, it's some place significant to you. Oh my gosh, I have to sneeze. Let me hold back, okay? But the palm tree represents flexibility. And I really feel like, believe it or not, I had someone tell me years ago that I was uptight. They told me I was uptight because I had a moral code. And that was very manipulative because they were trying to get something out of me. So they insulted me and told me that in order for me to get what they were offering, I needed to be quote unquote less uptight, and I possibly needed to have no morals and not have boundaries. Be careful. When people say words are like spells, that's why it's called spelling. Okay. So, anyway, this is about flexibility. Sure, there might be some of you that do feel like you're a little rigid, and you might have good justification for that in your life. Maybe you've become a little bit cold or a little rigid because you've been hurt. Maybe you've had trauma. Okay, and that's just a protective measure. Okay, you might have your heart locked up in a metal casing with a lock and no key, and with no intentions of bringing that lock or that key out. And if that's the place you are right now, that's where you need to be. Okay, but please don't stay there because your heart needs room to beat, and it will shrink. Yeah, so this is telling you as you go forward to have a little bit of flexibility and to try not to be too rigid in life, because the more rigid you are, the easier you'll break. And maybe some of you just need to, like, legit start stretching. I'm just hearing stretching or doing some yoga, and maybe practice a little meditation when you're doing that. Okay. Or maybe you are doing that and you're already like really good at that. All right, you guys. So that's your reading. I hope that it came across inspirational, at least to some degree. And don't forget, you've got a new beginning and healing that's happening here in August. So embrace that. That gift is coming to you. Embrace that. All right, you guys. So I will see you back here tomorrow for sure, a little bit earlier than usual, that we're going to do the live stream again, because I think that it's much better. If I don't live stream early, I'll try to get a video up early, but I'd rather just live stream. It's so much more fun. All right, you guys. I love you. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Also, share if there's anyone that you know who needs to hear this. Okay, they don't have to be a Virgo. Okay, share it with them. And also, if you want to book a personal reading with me, the links are all over my channel here in the description box as well. Just click that link and book your reading. You don't email me saying, "Hey, I need to book a reading," because I'm not responding to that. Just do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. All right, you guys, have a fantastic night, and I will see you all back here tomorrow. Love you. Bye.